Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudire Nasta Prayeshu Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Ruttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtiki Om Agnanatimirandasya Gnananjana Chalakaya Chakshurun Militam Mena Tasmai Shri Guruvaya Namaha Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Preshthaya Bhutale Himate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Namane Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhaktavinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Srimad Bhagavatam Canto 4 Chapter 20 Verse 15 Evam Dvijagriyanu Matanuvritta Dharma Pradhanonyatamo Vitasyaha Prasvena Kalena Gruhopayatan Drishtasi Siddhan Anurakta Lord Vishnu continued, my dear King Prithu, if you continue to protect the citizens according to the instructions of the learned Brahmana authorities, as they are received by disciplic succession, by hearing, and if you follow the religious principles laid down by them, without attachment to ideas manufactured by mental concoction, then every one of your citizens will be happy and will love you. And very soon you will be able to see such already liberated personalities of the four Kumaras, Sanaka, Sanatana, Sanandana, Sanat Kumar. Lord Vishnu advised King Prithu that everyone should follow the principles of Varnashrama Dharma. Then, in whatever capacity one remains within this material world, his salvation is guaranteed after death. So, if somebody follows Varnashrama, then salvation is guaranteed. So, there are two types of people. Mm. One, those who directly accept bhakti. They're very fortunate souls. Mm. But then there are others who are possibly more attached to working. For them, they should be encouraged to, if they are not come to bhakti, they should be encouraged to follow the principles of Varnashrama. That is the reason why Prabhupada said 50% of my mission is undone. Establishing bhakti happened, but establishing Varnashrama did not happen. So Prabhupada wanted that to happen because this is the normal way of life. Basically, Varnashrama means just normal material life, but done as per Shastra, not as per people's whims and fancies. Because people are doing as they like, that is becoming vikarma. That's resulting in bondage. So Prabhupada wanted to change the social structure so that vritti and certain principles are followed in such a way that mm, it can be centered around Krishna. Though it's not necessarily bhakti, but it's just centered around Krishna, like you know, around it's called Daivi Varnashrama, around principles given by Krishna. Because it says one should follow the principles, then salvation is guaranteed. Because eventually they'll get purified and they'll come to bhakti at a later point in time. In this age, however, since the system Varnashrama Dharma is topsy-turvy, it's very difficult to strictly follow all the principles. So not all the principles are required. Some principles can be followed. The only method for becoming perfect in life is to develop Krishna consciousness. As Varnashrama Dharma is executed from different positions by different men, so the Krishna consciousness principles can be followed by everyone in every part of the world. So obviously, Krishna consciousness is the higher principle, right? Mm, Parama Dharma. But mm, for those who are not interested in following, we see actually even today in our preaching efforts, so many people come, but they don't want to continue Krishna consciousness because they're not ready for any of these, don't eat onion, garlic, and all these kind of, be meat eating. And people are not ready to do this, right? So then for them, what is the path? For them, the path is varnashrama because other option for them is hell. So Prabhupada said, no, for those who are not ready to accept Krishna consciousness, give them varnashrama dharma principles. At least tell them how to live, basic principles that they can follow, so that they are living their own life however they are, but there are certain principles they are following, which are not Krishna conscious principles, which are possibly easy to follow for most of them, like that. But yeah, it's a very deep science, and some educated, very well qualified devotees should, you know, design this varnashrama for people to live accordingly. It's a big project. There's a specific purpose in mentioning here in that one should follow the Vijagriyas, the most prominent Brahmanas like Parashara and Manu. These great sages have already given us instructions on how to live according to the principles of Varnashrama Dharma. Similarly, Sanatana Goswami and Rupa Goswami have given us the rules and regulations for becoming pure devotees of the Lord. So, if for Varnashrama we have to follow Parashara and Manu and such great sages. For becoming pure devotees, we follow Sanatana Goswami, Rupa Goswami. It is essential, therefore, to follow the instructions of the Acharyas in the Parampara system who have received the knowledge as passed down from spiritual master to disciple. In this way, although living in our material condition of life, we can get out of the entanglement of material contamination without leaving our positions. Mm. So, in this way, meaning whether we follow bhakti principles or we follow varnashrama principles, we can get out of the entanglement without leaving our positions. Not without leaving our positions means basically if you're a grasta, you remain a grasta. If you're a brahmachari, you remain brahmachari. Whatever it is, whatever status, social status, you can still follow these principles and eventually get out of entanglement. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu advises, therefore, that one does not have to change his position. One simply has to hear from the perfect source, that is called parampara, and follow the principles for practical application in life. Thus, one can attain the highest perfection of life, liberation, and go back home, back to Godhead. Because even if one follows varnashrama, immediately, eventually, his salvation is guaranteed after death. So they might, if they don't develop love for Krishna, they might not go back to Krishna Loka. But based on whatever attachment they develop to, they can even either get Brahman realization or Paramatma, or if they're very fortunate, Bhagavan. In other words, the change required is a change in consciousness, not in the body. Unfortunately, in this fallen age, people are concerned with the body, not with the soul. They've invented so many isms pertaining to the body and not the soul. Actually, this single line, okay, keep saying, if you can just realize this, that I'm not the body, I'm spirit soul, that means that we really made progress. Mm. We are doing bhakti, but we are still not on the platform of the soul. Though activities of bhakti are actually on the platform of the soul, in the spiritual activities, but still we are on the bodily platform. Mm. So only gradual purification and consistent performance of bhakti will actually help us bring us uh, to the platform. Mm. Yesterday, some children who were playing in our center, and after the program, when we were doing cleaning, etc., so children were playing. They were playing something pizza, pizza, pizza. Now, see, they are all very small children, like 8, 10 years, like that. And this is the what the society is teaching them today, right? And then I think Kirti Mataji was sitting, or somebody helped them to say, okay, Hare Krishna. Then they moved from pizza to Hare Krishna. Mm. So then they were playing, but we're chanting Hare Krishna. So it's just that we are everything that we do is so much contaminated today, and it's all connected to the body. What is pizza? Connected to the tongue, right? So it's like even if we are just simply not conscious, we without knowing we will simply you know tilt towards material consciousness. It's a very natural thing. Even small children are used to it. That's become the way of life. So just realizing this. So at least when you're chanting Hare Krishna, we might remember saying that, okay, I'm not this body. That also we don't remember. It takes us a lot of years of sadhana, strict sadhana. In the modern age of democracy, and Prabhupada called it demon crazy, there are so many government representatives voting for legislation. Every day they bring out a new law. But because these laws are only mental concoctions manufactured by inexperienced, conditioned souls, they cannot give relief to human society. Formerly, although the kings were autocrats, they strictly followed the principles laid down by great sages and saintly persons. That's why Vishnu here is saying, follow the Brahmanas. Don't do whimsically. Follow the parampara. There are no mistakes in ruling over the country, and everything went perfectly. Citizens were completely pious. King levied taxes legitimately, and therefore situation was very happy. Hmm. Just imagine Rama Rajya. This is Rama Rajya. Citizens are completely pious. King levied taxes legitimately. Therefore, situation was very happy. At the present moment, the so-called executive heads are more or less selected from materially ambitious persons who simply look after their own personal interests. So unfortunate. They have no knowledge of the Shastras. In other words, the executive heads are fools and rascals in the strict sense, in the strict sense of the terms. Fools and rascals in the strict sense of the terms. Meaning they are in ignorance. So they don't know what is right, what is wrong. They don't know how to direct, what direction to give to people. And so people in general are Shudras. People in general are Shudras, and they are being guided by fools and rascals. This combination of fools and rascals and Shudras cannot bring about peace and prosperity in this world. Therefore, we find periodic upheavals in society in the form of battles, communal riots, fratricidal quarrels. Under these circumstances, not only are leaders unable to lead the people toward liberation, but they cannot even give them peace of mind. In Bhagavad Gita, it is stated that anyone who lives on concocted ideas without reference to the Shastras never becomes successful and does not attain happiness or liberation after death. This is true even in the practice of bhakti, that we should not live on concocted ideas without reference to Shastras. Mm. We talk about so many things. See, so many things are done today in ISKCON, which are concocted. Mm. All modern inventions. Mm. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, Kirtan means what? What instruments are involved in Kirtan? Anybody?
Mridanga and Kartal.
Mridanga, Kartal, and that
Maybe harmonium.
harmonium. Actually, harmonium was never used in during Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's time. Harmonium, Prabhupada then introduced saying that harmonium can be used for bhajans, but never for Hare Krishna Mahamantra, not for kirtans, because he didn't want kirtan to be too much based on tune. He wanted the focus to be on the nama. But this is actually the standard, and His Holiness Jayadvaita Maharaj has given a 4-session seminar on kirtan standards. I had forwarded it in our group some time back. Mm. No, the simple reason why it is not musically enriched, why Chaitanya Mahaprabhu did not. Of course, there would have been so many musicians even at that time who could play a flute, a guitar, or whatever. Okay, of course, guitar was not there, but at least other Indian musical instruments. But the idea is because it's not musical performance; it's glorification of Krishna. Now, so much simple concocted idea. Every kirtan, in to be practically every temple in ISKCON today, temple center, etc., is using instruments which are not approved, right? For example, the djembe, that is African. It is not part of our what Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gave. Prabhupada wanted to give what Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gave to the whole world, and now we are bringing in concoction, we are bringing in contamination, dilution, and there's no reference to Guru Sadhu Shastra here. Just do whatever you want. We will not achieve success. Because what will happen now, the focus of Kirtan is not really the purity of the Nama that is being chanted. If somebody has some good voice and is chanting very melodiously, and then there are some instruments and jing bang, and that is Kirtan. But that's going to create sense gratification. That's all. Of course, there'll be some benefit still because of Nama being chanted, but it's not pure chanting. So it's concocted idea. So it will not give us pure devotion. So it's very, very important. Even in bhakti, we are creating so many concoctions, so many concoctions. What is the need for all these concoctions? Hmm? Can anybody say, is there a need for these concoctions? Is there really required? Are these things required for us to do things that our acharyas have not taught us? What are we going to gain from this? Or what are we going to lose from this? Why are we doing all this? Any thoughts? Yeah. Yeah. Yes, Madhu.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Yeah.
Prabhuji, just a week, 10 days back, there was a Kirtan Mela in Brindavan.
Mm-hmm.
I forget this thing, name of the person who did it. Apparently, abroad, he charges all, like each ticket's about 5,000, 10,000. And Prabhu, like a whole lot of people,
Mm.
youngsters, college girls,
Yeah.
they went in a flight to hear him. And
Yeah.
when they came back
Sure.
and they were telling me, she said, Mataji, बोला like मैं तो गिरी गोवर्धन में सुना बस क्या था, Prabhu, like they are a few of them were initiated, a few of them were not initiated. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, they were children of devotees, and
Mm-hmm.
just for the Kirtan Mela they went,
Mm.
and they enjoyed all the 3 days of the Kirtan
Yeah.
Mela, and they
Enjoyed.
were
Enjoyed.
back.
That's the point. That's the
Yeah,
point,
but
right?
Prabhu, like somewhere or the other, it like after that 2 3 days, they did come to the temple.
That's
But
all.
but Prabhu, like it, my this thing to it is with time, place, and circumstances. Don't you move?
Okay,
Like
I'll ask a very simple question.
yes,
How advanced we are today
no, we
as
aren't.
compared to, no, no, 1 second, let me complete my question. As compared to 50, 70 years back when Prabhupada started the movement in the West. Prabhupada started the movement in the West. Please
Yes,
understand that.
yes,
Right? He
true.
did not start it in India.
Yes,
He
true.
started in the West where all these things have been happening, were already there, isn't it?
Yes, yes, true.
Right? Now, when he first did in Tompkins Square, right, he allowed everybody to do anything.
Yeah,
Right? Because it's just the first kirtan and people don't know. He said, yeah, okay, everybody come. Subsequently, he also allowed people to do play other things, because he just wanted them to come because he was establishing the movement. But after that, he was very, very clear saying that no, stop all this. Don't use all this. Just do Kartal Pradanga. See, there is a limit to all this, and unfortunately, we always tend to think that we are in a different age and time compared to when Prabhupada started the movement. No, no, we are in the same age and time. Just 50, 60 years. And that too because he started in the West. We are literally just following, right? India is always behind, copying West, right? And most of these devotees who are doing these things abroad, they are not Indians. They are not born of Indian. They don't have understanding of Indian culture, right? And first of all, Prabhupada was very vehemently against charging money for kirtans. He said that is professional singers. So, I mean, this whole thing is so concocted. And Prabhupada said, don't encourage professional speakers, right? For Bhagavatam. Why? Because it is like, the poison touched, the milk touched by the tongue of a poisonous snake. There's no use. It doesn't have any effect on us. It just results in sense gratification. Please don't, we should not do this within ISKCON. Go outside and do anything, right? But this is not Prabhupada's ISKCON. Absolutely not Prabhupada's ISKCON. Playing guitar, playing all this nonsense within the temple is just totally disrespecting Prabhupada, right? And disrespecting what he gave us, which is pure devotional service. And now today we are all, everybody literally across ISKCON, right? No exceptions. Everybody is thinking they are more advanced to take these decisions. We've all become acharyas. If Prabhupada thought that this is the best way of attracting people, would it have been difficult for him, right? Modern acharya, okay, we will say, okay, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was okay 500 years ago, okay. Prabhupada, he allowed these only on certain conditions as outreach programs. Please remember, the outreach means outside the temple environment, right? You can do these things and attract people to Krishna consciousness. But when they come to the temple, give them rules and regulations, give them things to follow. Don't let them just do things whimsically. This was his approach. Unfortunately, we have not studied Prabhupada at all, right? Most people in ISKCON don't know what Prabhupada did, don't analyze what Prabhupada did. So we have generated concocted ideas and we also substantiate those ideas. The whole idea of a reference to Shastra, Guru Sadhu Shastra, is about understanding what was done in what mood and how it has to be followed. Right. And today we don't tell if something is doing, someone is doing something wrong. Nobody says it's wrong because we are in this, mindset of, oh, Vaishnava Aparad. The only thing we have to think, if Prabhupada was there with us, if Prabhupada was sitting there in that program, would he have approved it? Right? So anyway, I think this is a can go on for hours on this topic, but at least my sincere request to everybody is please follow what Prabhupada has given. It just makes it easier. We become successful. Otherwise, we don't attain anything. We don't attain our eventual goal. Even after following things strictly, it's so difficult. We are still struggling. Just imagine if we don't follow things strictly, where will we be? Hmm. Do you think we are going to develop attachment to Nama? Or we are going to develop attached to that guitar, bass, and all this stuff, right? Which is just musical. Musical. Okay, I enjoyed it. Harinam is not for our enjoyment. Harinam is for Lord's pleasure and our purification. So yeah, anyway. So like this, there are hundreds of tens of hundreds of things that are happening. Yeah. So we should try to follow. And some of our, at least even the current gurus in ISKCON, they're trying to set these standards. It's nice to try and follow this. It'll actually help ISKCON in the long run. Hmm. Just imagine what will happen in few years. Possibly all these, Prabhupada disciples, right? They'll leave the world. And then what is going to happen if there's no proper guidance which has been put in place? By just their surrender to Prabhupada, in spite of so many so-called concoctions in ISKCON is still able to impact people because of the purity of these great souls, because they surrendered to Prabhupada and dedicated their life to them. And what will happen to people after them? We can't even imagine what our gurus and Prabhupada disciples achieved in their life. We cannot do it in 10 lives or 100 lives maybe. So when all that potency goes off, all that surrender goes off, what will remain? Then it will become a musical performance. And we are not thinking about this. We're just not thinking about it. In another 50 years, we will be somewhere else. Uh, we'll be somewhere else. We will not remain is Prabhupada's ISKCON. Already we have one classic example, right? Ritvik system. So yeah, there'll be so many like that. It's a concocted idea, mental concoction. Anyway, so the idea is here we have to follow strictly parampara. That's the whole principle here, as they received by disciplic succession. We're hearing, following, without attachment to ideas manufactured. Then citizens will be happy when it is government, and devotees will be happy when it is temples. Varam chamat kanchana manavendra vrinishva teham gunashila yantritaha naham makhair vai sulabhastapobhir yogena va yat samachittavarti. My dear king, I'm very captivated by your elevated qualities and excellent behavior. Wow. I mean, Krishna, Vishnu is saying, Prthu, I'm very captivated, and thus I'm very favorably inclined toward you. You may therefore ask from me any benediction you like. See, this actually, if at all we can come to this stage of Krishna ever being so pleased with us and saying, I'm captivated by your elevated qualities and excellent behavior, O dear devotee, and thus I'm very favorably inclined toward you. You may therefore ask from me any benediction you like. And of course, somebody who is in that stage will say, I want you and nothing else, and your service and your pure devotees, serving them. One who does not possess elevated qualities and behavior cannot possibly achieve my favor simply by performance of sacrifices, pure austerities, or mystic yoga. But I always remain equipoised in the heart of one who is also equipoised in all circumstances. Samachitta, Sulabaha. Mm, Sulabaha. Very easy to obtain. Lord Vishnu was very pleased with Maharaj Prithu's good character and behavior and offered him a benediction. The Lord openly says that performing great sacrifices or undergoing the austerities of mystic yoga practice cannot satisfy him. He is pleased only by elevated character and behavior. Again, as laid down by previous acharyas. But these cannot develop unless one becomes a pure devotee of the Lord. Again, anyone who has developed unalloyed, unflinching devotional service to the Lord develops his original good qualities, spirit, soul. Yes, yeah, yes. What is that? Yasyasti bhaktir bhagavitta kinchana sarvair gunes tatra samasate suraha rava bhaktasya kuto mahadgunat manorathena sato dhavato bahihi yasyasti bhaktir bhagavati akinchana. This is what Prabhupada is saying. Unalloyed, unflinching, akinchana bhakti. Sarvair gunair, sarvair gunair, all good qualities. Tatra samasate suraha, suraha, all good qualities which are there in demigods, suraha, become manifest in the body of a devotee, in the personality of a devotee, for which we require pure devotion. The spirit soul, as part and parcel of the Supreme Lord, has all the good qualities of the Lord. The spirit soul is contaminated by the modes. One is considered good or bad with reference to material qualities. But when one is transcendental to all material qualities, all good qualities come out, meaning they manifest. Very nice. These qualities of a devotee, 26 in number, are listed. This is given by in Chaitanya Charitamrita. Kind to everyone, does not quarrel with anyone, fixed in the absolute truth, equal to everyone, faultless, meaning nobody can find faults because it will be as per Guru Sadhu Shastra, charitable, mild, clean, simple, benevolent. Benevolent means ready to, give the mercy, distribute the mercy that he has received. Peaceful, completely attached to Krishna, most important. Has no material hankering, meek, steady, self-controlled, does not eat more than required, sane, respectful, humble, grave, compassionate, friendly, poetic, expert, silent. So we need to understand these qualities. This is there in Chaitanya Charitamrita. The Lord is satisfied by development of the transcendental qualities of the living entity and not by artificial performance of sacrifices and mystic yoga. And also these qualities have to be deeply rooted, not artificial demonstration of these qualities. It's there, present. Mm. In other words, unless one is fully qualified to become a pure devotee of the Lord, one cannot expect to be liberated from material entanglement. So we can understand that it's only pure devotion that is actually the solution. There's nothing else. Everything else is continued bondage. That's all. Mm. So look at this devotee who's so much selfless, kind to everyone. It's all with respect to others only. Most of these qualities does not quarrel with anyone, equal to everyone, charitable, which is also in connection with others, mild, again in connection with others. Okay, clean can be an internal, personal practice thing. Simple also can be internal. Benevolent, again connected with others. Peaceful, again connected with others. Has no material anchoring. Okay. Meek, again connected with others. Steady. Okay. Self-controlled. Does not eat more than required. Sane. Mm, respectful, again connected with others. Humble, again connected with others. Grave, again connected with others. Compassionate, friendly. So many of these qualities are not inward focused, they're all outward focused. That is why if in Gaudiya Parampara in ISKCON, we have to do, we have to go out and distribute mercy. That is the only, that's the only thing which is going to help us. If you're just sitting at home, then we might develop some of these qualities. Maybe cleanliness, maybe simple, maybe steady, right? But these other qualities, they require us to, they'll develop automatically when we are distributing Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's mercy. Because you can't preach if you're not friendly to people, if you're not compassionate, if you're not humble. Why we have to be humble to preach? Because we make our efforts, then we see that there are no results. Then we realize, oh, I am nobody. Only if Krishna desires, it can happen. So we automatically become humble, charitable. We make sure that everybody gets prasadam before we take prasadam. So these things are normal qualities that develop in devotees who are imbibing that mood of service, distributing this mercy, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's servants. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu will protect them, protect their bhakti, take care of, give them special mercy. So everyone has to be engaged. Just okay, one thing is about some taking some services in the temple and doing, yeah, which is also absolutely required because temple is anyway the institution for distributing mercy. So when people come there, everything should be in order for you know preaching to happen. So those services are important, but those are not the only services we should be doing. For example, somebody has some regular service in the temple, we should do that, but alongside, we should see if we can engage in some book distribution, especially because this book marathon. We should go out and distribute books. And we are seriously trying to distribute Bhagavatam and Chaitanya Charitamrita to people. And so many people are taking. So many people are taking. Right? We already in like 10, 15 days, we've done some more than 800 sets. Sorry, 80 sets. Right? So it's possible. And we find it difficult sometimes to even distribute one single Bhagavad Gita. Right? But the glories of Bhagavatam are such that, we are able to distribute and like devotees are trying and people are taking and they're happy. They're reading, inviting Krishna to their homes. Mm. And that's only what we have to do. Some of these activities, uh, at least once in a year, Prabhupada said, once in a year do marathon. Well, book distribution has to happen throughout the year. For those who don't do throughout the year, at least it should be in December. But I see so many devotees make like plans, holiday plans. Last year, what is the month? Shutdown, yearly shutdown time. Most software people don't work December last week, and they all plan to go out for holidays. Mm. That's okay for new devotees. They will still not imbibe the mood of Srila Prabhupada. But that's not for practicing devotees. Definitely not for initiated devotees. Uh, so we should always plan to, there are certain times in the year when we have to do certain activities, and we should try to focus on that. So please, this month, 40 days, please, starting from yesterday or today till Jan 10th is when Vaikuntha Ekadashi. Please try to distribute. I mean, and the simple goal I've given to all devotees is simply 5 Bhagavatam sets. That's all, not more. 5 Bhagavatam sets. If you, yeah, if somebody wants to, if you want to donate, that's up to you. But just simply explain glories and distribute. We are making one brochure also for that, and I'll share on the group once its design is ready. You can use that. It's a very simple one pager to tell people why Bhagavatam is important in their life. Very simple. Not very difficult to tell them the glories of Bhagavatam. See, very yesterday I got a very deep realization. Krishna is available even in the form of Nama, right? But we also then Bhagavatam is also available, right? So now why and Nama is free, right? As in whatever you go and 50 rupees by bead, blah, whatever, right? But then we are saying Bhagavatam, oh, okay, 8,000, 9,000 rupees. Why is it that Bhagavatam is required when somebody can just simply sit at home and do chanting? What is the benefit for a person? Why are we pushing? Why are we pushing? Meaning, why Prabhupada wanted Bhagavatam to be distributed? Because anyway, Yuga Dharma was Harinam. So why Bhagavatam? Yeah, anybody? Why Bhagavatam?
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Yeah.
As per my understanding, like if you want to praise someone, if you want to like someone, we should know about that person, right? So when we read
Yeah,
Bhagavad,
I
we
mean
know
that's
about.
okay. You will know, but
Hmm.
even without knowing, you are still chanting. No, chanting is
Uh,
glorification.
Hare
Chanting is
Yeah.
Krishna.
actually inclusive, all glorification. Yeah,
Prabhupada
Rajatru.
says in one sloka, like
Huh.
chanting is like, diet. Shravanam is like, medicine for our
No,
sick
but
stomach.
Shravanam also is Nama Shravanam. When we are,
Namashravanam, okay.
yeah, no, we can do Nama Shravanam, Leela Shravanam, Rupa Shravanam, everything we can do. But Nama Shravanam is good enough. Nama Shravanam also has effect, no? But there's one very central point. That's what I'm trying to drive.
हरे कृष्णा
Yeah,
प्रभु.
yeah, Rajatru.
प्रभु मेरे ख्याल से like we say भगवान हर जगह है, but still we need मूर्ति, right?
Uh-huh.
So same way when we chant, maybe we need to focus to Lord
Mm-hmm.
in the form of Bhagavatam.
Okay, okay,
So this this is why
okay,
what I think so.
okay, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, anybody else?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Yeah, Supremad.
Because we will know how the Lord's devotees are, how they are
Okay,
about devotees also, and um, how their
okay,
bhakti is like.
okay.
You can follow
Yeah,
their.
yeah. But if you see, actually in Bhagavatam, very few people are actually chanting Hare Krishna.
Mm,
Very few people are chanting Hare
yes,
Krishna. Chanting Hare
uh,
Krishna is much beyond, right?
yes.
So okay, I'll tell you what the core here is, right? See, when we have Vigraha, yeah, how has Krishna incarnated in Kali Yuga? In Archa Vigraha, so he's in the form, in the temple, or in the Vigraha. Then he's also in the Nama, right? And then he's also in Bhagavatam. Now, the first two, the Vigraha Aradhana, there is concern of Seva Aparad. We'll do mistakes during doing that, and that will result. That is not very good. So we have to keep away Seva Aparad. Then during Nama, what do? We do Nama Aparad, right? But during Bhagavatam, there's no Aparad. Being in touch with Krishna in the form of Bhagavatam, there's no Aparad. Just simply, and what is the mode of worship? Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya. Simply open Bhagavatam, read how much ever, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, that much seva you're doing to Krishna. So by associating with Bhagavatam, the purity that we don't have to actually take full advantage of Nama, we get. So everybody has to read Bhagavatam every day, and this session is not a replacement for that. You have to sit, open book Bhagavatam, right? Sit and read and realize just by touching Bhagavatam, realize this is lotus feet of Krishna. First two cantos are lotus feet of Krishna. Hmm? Padma Purana is saying. So without any offenses, we will get full benefit by doing Bhagavata Seva. And just imagine for those who don't even know about chanting or have time for chanting or want to do chanting, etc. We just tell them take Krishna home first. Bhagavatam, Krishna is coming home just by the physical presence of Bhagavatam, right? But for Nama, you have to chant. But just by taking Bhagavatam in somebody's house, Krishna enters. Oh, what mercy! Just imagine what mercy this is. And as devotees, we should be kicked about this, to talk about people about this and distribute the sets, saying that Krishna is coming home. Yesterday I was asking a very simple question, saying that if some very great Vaishnava, some sannyasi, some brahmachari, they say, I want to come to your house, what will we say? We'll be so excited about it, and we'll go about making all the arrangements, and then we'll receive them nicely, we'll serve them nicely. And now Krishna is saying that I am ready to come home. No. So we should talk about this. People saying that, see, Krishna is willing to come to your house. Otherwise, you can't welcome Krishna in any other way. We are so unqualified in Kali Yuga. But he's coming so mercifully in the form of Bhagavatam. So please welcome him home. And serve him every day by simply opening Bhagavatam and reading for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, whatever is possible. So I request everybody to please try, right? And we have devotees who distributing like crazy. I mean, just simply talk full day. I mean, full consciousness. Their only consciousness is Bhagavatam, Bhagavatam, Bhagavatam. Prabhupada wanted this Bhagavatam to be distributed. He said every home there has to be Bhagavatam. Why? Because Krishna has to be present in every home. Why? Because every home will be benefited. Mm. So I request everybody to please engage in this book marathon. Very, very important. Yeah, Prabhu.
So who is that devotee who is daily doing this Bhagavatam for 20?
Okay, so we have two devotees. One is, I mean, super actively, like others are trying. One is Shashikala Mataji, she's on this group, and there's one more Mataji called Radha Mataji. Both Mataji is doing amazing distribution. I was telling yesterday saying they're really completely surrendered souls. No, nothing, no false ego, no false ego. And they just don't even think they're doing it. They just say it's Prabhupada is just showing mercy, giving mercy through us. Right, and just making us an instrument and very fixed, very clearly fixed in that mood. And I pray that they continue because so many souls are being benefited, so many souls. Just maybe 2 months back, I wouldn't have thought that we would be able to do Bhagavatam. Mm. But these devotees just took it up. My whole this one is at least I know what direction to take. Whether I am capable of doing it or not, I don't know. At least Krishna is so mercifully sending devotees who are capable, and they take these statements very seriously. In fact, I mean, maybe not the best thing, but Mataji's husband is also a very nice devotee and dedicatedly serving. He's saying, she's forgotten me. But he's also very kicked about it. He said, no, 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 it's okay. We'll do this. So though she maybe does, it looks like she doesn't have time for anything else in this month, and she's just doing this actually more than a month now. But yeah, so many devotees, so many people are getting mercy. So many people. Our Vijayanagar devotees have also started now. Hopefully, we want to see some transcendental competition between, these devotees. Everybody's fired up. Everybody's fired up. So yeah, let's distribute mercy, and then we will automatically get mercy ourselves. Why do we have to worry about that? And I request everybody, please join something. Let's do our squirrel service if you're not able to. But of course, see, Bhagavatam actually, it's not. It's our mind block. Yesterday, then somebody what you were saying, Prabhu, it's so expensive. And I answered in class saying, you go and buy a mobile phone. How much do you spend for a mobile phone? Bare minimum, like 7,000-8,000, bare minimum. Meaning, even if you don't want anything, literally, a smartphone you will not get decent smartphone which can run up to 1 year, 2 years. You won't get for less than 8,000, 9,000. And what do you do after some devotee said 3 years. I said, wow, okay. Other devotee said 1 year. I said, okay, whatever, 1 year, 3 years. What do you do after that? You go and buy one more, right? How many do you buy in your life? And for what? For just communication. And this Krishna is coming. What is the value you can tie? Can you put a value for this? Can you value Krishna? Krishna Tulya Bhagavata. Padma Purana says Krishna Bhagavata is Tulya, equal to Krishna. He is Krishna. So money is nothing. 7, 8,000, 9,000, 10,000, nothing. I mean, literally everybody spends. And we are okay. We are saying, yeah, we are happy to, our temple support. We will give you we can give you installments also. For 6 months, we are okay. And try to give as much as early as possible. If they're required, but the mercy has to be distributed. Mercy has to be first received home. So if anybody doesn't have Srimad Bhagavatam, please let me know. We'll arrange for Krishna to, grace your home. And those who have Srimad Bhagavatam, they should have Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita. Again, yesterday I put this message on our group, and Swami Mataji so readily said, Prabhu, I don't have Srimad Chaitanya Charitamrita, and he got Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's mercy yesterday. So everybody should have. And those who have should open it and read. It's a simple process, the most powerful process. While we generally talk about chanting, but actually chanting by itself, because we do so many offenses, it's doesn't give us the required result. It's Bhagavatam which gives the result. Very powerful. Okay, so my little push for distribution for the month. So please try. What can I do? I can only speak, but you can all do. You have so many contacts. You are all, people working in touch in corporate world. So many, touch with so many people out there. Please do. Please try. Okay. Is there anything else? Otherwise, we'll stop here. Okay. Nothing else. We'll close. Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Panchakalpatarubhyashta kripa sindhubhyo cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namah. Ananta Koti
Hare
Vaishnava.
Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Rajat Prabhu, sales person आप 50 सेट कीजिए आप. मैं बोल
Yes,
रहा हूँ
Prabhu,
कर
yes.
सकते हैं, आप डिसाइड करेंगे तो कर सकते हैं.
Yes, Prabhu, sure.